Magandang gabi. Buenas tardes. Muy bien. The two languages spoken most besides English in this community are Tagalog and Spanish, in that order. So welcome. Tagalog is the language of the Philippines. There's several dialects, but Tagalog is the official language of the Philippines. So welcome. We want to give you a big welcome, aloha from American Canyon. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. You know, when Superintendent get up, and I do this very often, I talk about our school goals. I talk about how we're achieving those goals. I talk about how our test scores are up. And I talk about how our kids are the #1 in the world. But your kids are too. So I'm not going to talk about that today. What I'm going to talk about is heart. And I want to talk a little bit about empathy, compassion, and forgiveness. Not common topics for a superintendent, but I think it's important this weekend because we're here to become better at what we do so that we can better serve others. We're here because we chose this way to reach out to people and to touch them. There's a story about Mahatma Gandhi from India. And a woman who had a young boy who'd been very sick because he was diabetic and he kept eating sugar. And the woman came up and said, Mahatma, my son, he keeps eating sugar. I've tried everything. We've tried everything. And he keeps eating sugar. Please talk to him to stop this eating sugar. He's killing himself and he doesn't even know it. So Gandhi said, come back in 3 weeks, please. The woman was dismayed, but she did. She left with her son, didn't understand why. But as a mom is, she's persistent, and she came back. On the third week, the day of the third week, she was back, and she said, I'm ready to speak to your son. And he went off, and he spoke to the son. And the son stopped eating sugar. In fact, he returned to really good health. And so the mother was just obviously very grateful, thankful, kind of just gushing with joy that he had solved this problem that she'd been having. And she said to him, of course, thank you. But then she said, but why did you send us away for 3 weeks when you know he was so sick? And Gandhi, kind of with a grin, said, because I love sugar too, and I needed 3 weeks to stop. And that's the story of us. Because all the weekend long, you're going to be learning things. You're going to be figuring out, how can I apply this in my classroom? Or how can I apply this with my colleagues? Or what about my own children and my grandchildren or my nieces and my nephews? How can I transmit this? But it first starts with us. Our willingness to be open, to struggle, to fight, to pursue, to persevere. Those are the qualities we want to teach in our kids. And test scores will follow, or not. But the love of learning, the love of one another, the empathy to forgive yourself when you mess up, to, I don't have my tag, power on, keep calm and power on. That's our message for our young people, and it's our message for one another. So please make time to not just learn this stuff, but share it with one another. Talk about your frustrations. Talk about how you went through the fog, that fog of fear that holds us back from being our real selves, from being all that we can be within ourselves, that fog. And if you've lived in the Central Valley, which I did for 15 years, it's kind of fearful to be in the Central Valley and driving through the fog. But believe it or not, if you just go slowly and steadily, you get through it. And then you reach a place that's not foggy, and it's like, what was I afraid of? And that's how we are with all this new stuff we're learning. So we want you to have a wonderful weekend. Share your good ideas with other people. Go out and inspire kids, and have a wonderful weekend here in Napa Valley. One very important thing If you could give a round of applause, this man just got a recent promotion. He has been the passionate cheerleader, drum major for the work that Q is doing for all of us. If you give it up for Mr. Mike Lawrence.
Thank you, Patrick. It's so wonderful being here in Napa Valley. We really appreciate it. You guys have made a great welcome for us, and we thank you for always opening up your doors to your community and to this amazing campus. How many of you have enjoyed your time here at American Canyon High School? Great. Excellent. And it is a beautiful campus. I have a shot of it. There it is. It's just gorgeous. It was opened in 2010 in August, and 2 months later we showed up here for our first Fall Q conference, and this is now 4 years later. This is our 5th conference here, and we're really thrilled with it. It's great that we have returned to having a fall conference for so many years when we only had a spring conference, annual conference in March. So I'm really excited again to be back. And how many of you have learned something today? Anyone learn anything today by applause? Yes? Great. So your challenge is, and if you're a Q member already, I know you know this, share it. Tell the world. Use the Twitter. And we have a hashtag for that so that you know how to use it. And we're actually also streaming live. We're actually streaming out live to the world. So Lucian, I was going to mention, I timed it just perfectly. We got to keep our comments, G-rated, because we're streaming out live to the world. And we're actually utilizing this hashtag, #NotAtFallQ. So this was a live shot I took off my laptop just to demonstrate that we actually are streaming live. There's a couple of seconds lag, but it's out there. So everyone else that couldn't get into this room is able to watch it. And in fact, people that are here and registered for the conference that couldn't fit in this room are streaming. We're streaming it live to 2 overflow rooms. So everyone yell, "Hello, overflow rooms!" And you guys, if we draw your name for the raffle prize, you got a better shot at racing up on stage than the ones in the overflow rooms. No, I'm just kidding. We got a system set up. If the person that wins actually is in the overflow room, we're going to do a full-on come on down, and we're going to have them run into the theater, and they'll get their prize that way. So we've got a system in place if that happens. So we're really excited about that. We also wanted to thank the sponsors. You might have seen the slides that were going on before the videos. This wouldn't be possible without the sponsors. So let's have a rousing cheer for our sponsors. Another group that we couldn't produce this event without are the speakers. The speakers are amazing. These are volunteers. These are folks that are so passionate about what they have learned themselves. They want to share it with you guys, and they figure out a way to convince their district to let them go up here and speak to you on these sessions today and tomorrow. So again, huge thank you to our speakers that, again, donate their time for you. We have a system online that allows you to not only schedule your days here, but also you can click on a button and evaluate these sessions and help us. Tell us how could we be better? What could we have done differently to make that session that you went to better? This is different than the general evaluation. You'll get that in your inbox tomorrow afternoon. But this is individual session evaluations. And the way you do it is you go to that SCED at fall.q.org and you click here where it says evaluation. Pops up, allows you to evaluate. Yeah, is this your session right here? There he is, yay. Ryan O'Donnell, breaking up with PowerPoint. I found someone new. I loved this title, that's why I had to put it in, Ryan. So, it's my pleasure now. Oh, I get to introduce, before I introduce the board, I want to let you know the Q staff is growing, and I invited the 2 most recent Q staffers that we've hired to come to this session. I want to introduce them. So, Danielle Forrest is a member of the professional learning team. She's a professional learning specialist. Keep coming, you got to get in the light. The people in the internets can't see you. Come on, keep coming. This is Danielle Forrest, professional learning specialist. And Grace Collins just joined just 2 months, a month ago? It just seems like forever. It seems like you've been on the family forever. Grace Collins, she's our new conference coordinator. So thank you for welcoming these 2 new members of our team. And we're still growing. There's going to be some new faces I'll share probably next year with you as well. So thank you both for joining the team and sticking around. We are guided by the leadership of 9 members of the board of directors, and they are voted by you, the members of Q. So I want to introduce and have him come up on the stage, Q's president, Robert Craven. This is his 3rd year as president, so I want triple the normal level of applause. because not everyone gets to serve 3 years as president. So ladies and gentlemen, your president, Robert Craven.
That was pretty good there. Great, and I just want to take a moment and thank all of you for being here, and especially thank my board members up here. Here you get to see 3 of the board members that I have the pleasure of serving with, and we'll go through, and hopefully we'll get the other 8 up here. Let's see, there we go, or 7 rather. So we have a terrific board, and they're all over in that area, so if they just kind of stand up and come out for a second and at least wave, they do an amazing job. They are the volunteers. They give so many countless hours to Q. They're so passionate about making sure all of you have a wonderful experience in Q, whether it's at a conference or online or just at your affiliates. They really are the driving force behind what we do. And it's amazing. Oh, there's one more. I clicked it. It's not coming. Yeah, I know. There we go. Okay, Roger gets up there. So Roger had to have a little special introduction there. So. But it really is incredible to be up here today because we're thinking back. This is our 5th conference here in Napa. I think it was my, second year on the board. Yeah, started my 2nd year on the board that we, first year on the board, we started talking about bringing a conference back to Northern California. And we were hoping to get 300 people at that conference, which wouldn't even fill this room. So that gives you an idea just of how large we've grown now. And we have 2 overflow rooms going 5 years later. A month before the conference, we sell out and can't get more people on the campus here. So really, it's an incredible, just incredible to see how much it's grown in these last 5 years, and I really applaud the board from 6 years ago now for their vision to bring the conference back up here, and the board now to continue to throw the resources out and put the resources behind such a powerful event, and all of you for coming to it, so thank you very much for being here. I want to talk a little bit more about what the board's been working on and a few other things that we have going, but first, before I do that, and you see I am pressing this, and it's not, there we go. All right, yeah, that's me. All right, we know that. Okay, thanks for throwing that one in. Where'd that come from, Mike? There we go. I want to take a second. Really, this conference would not happen without the conference chairs, Kim Harrison and Joe Wood, who do a tremendous job making sure that this event happens, from going through and looking at the hundreds of applications for sessions to making sure that we have everything in line here. So can we have a round of applause for those 2 and everybody that serves on that committee with them? As well as just a tremendous number of volunteers. How many of you here volunteered while you're here working? All right, there's a lot of hands going up. So thank all of you for doing that. We really greatly appreciate that. It would not happen without your help and support. Let's see where we go next here. And I keep pressing it, and I'm going to make Mike stand over here, and just as I like point at him, I'm going to make him click for me because that seems to work better. So last year, the board spent a whole year really working on the strategic plan for Q. We update this every 5 years, and it is a mammoth undertaking and one that really involved not only the board and staff, but countless focus groups, countless members. So if you served on any of those committees or focus groups or took a look at a draft of the plan, thank you so much. We really were excited when we were able to roll this out just after annual conference. And we want to bring it up here and show you. It's on the Q.org website, so please go there if you'd like to peruse through it and see a little bit of where we're headed for the next few years. One of those pieces that we really spent a lot of time, and there Mike's going to press it for me, is on the mission and vision of Q. And I'll just touch on the vision for a second because I think it's wonderful. A community inspiring innovative learners. So that mission vision, we went through, how many of you saw this before or served on one of those focus committees? Yeah, all right, a bunch of hands going up. This was countless members coming in, from members that are new to the organization, members that have been here since the founding. We had vendors come in. We had just so many of you participate in this. And it took a long time to craft this down. I think it was finally about 8 months before we got down to the vision. So that gives you an idea of the time we were under here working on it. But it fits the organization so well and sets up for where we're going. And one of the fun pieces that we saw as we were going through this is there were really 4 distinct waves to Q. So how many of you were here during that founding wave, the late 70s through the mid 80s? All right, see a bunch of hands. Look at that. Excellent. So many hands up that are still here 36 or so years later, 37 years later. We had a big curricular wave in the mid 80s through the mid 90s, and that brought a lot of people in as the technology was getting into the classrooms a little bit more. It became more than just the people that were really into technology, but we saw technology starting to infiltrate into the classroom. We had that internet wave from the mid-'60s up to about 2005, where we got the PLNs and got so many other pieces as really Wi-Fi and technology became prevalent in the classrooms. And then that social media wave of the last 6 or 7 years, where it's really started to bring in all of the teachers in the classroom, or all the teachers at the school site, rather. And there's a great infographic that we had created. I believe, was it Amy Murphy that created it for us? Who created it? Was it Amy Murphy that created it? Yes, Amy Murphy, Q's very own Amy Murphy from San Diego, created the infographic for us. That, too, is up on the website, and it really does a wonderful job of charting out the growth of technology in education over these last 36 or 37 years. And it's just really fun to look at and see how California has evolved and how we've gone from just a few pioneers really pushing for this technology in their classrooms to the point where we are today, where we're looking at ubiquitous Wi-Fi and devices for students and every teacher needing to be able to use technology in their classroom. And so if we go here, we have a quick little video. We'll just play a second of why Q.
This is a really transformational time for education because of the nature of what's happening with technology.
Today, people are learning 24/7. You have access to information at any time, at your fingertips.
Quality education includes technology. It's no longer this extra add-on piece. It's just part of what we do and part of how...
Okay. Whoops. It cut too early there now. Darn it. The one time it actually worked. All right, well... Great video. It's nice, about a 3-minute video clip. It's up online if you'd like to go and see it. It has wonderful Q members talking about what an impact Q has made for them and the students in their classroom. We have the new logo that we rolled out this year. So we, after quite a long time, about 15 years or so of the old logo, rolled into this new logo that we had out, and we were able to unveil at the annual Q conference in the spring. And with that, we've recently launched the new Q Learning Network. So our significant interest groups, our SIGs, have now, or special interest groups rather, the SIGs and the professional learning networks are now Q Learning Networks with some great logos there. And one of the pieces, as we go, we have the new site that's getting, or mock-up rather here, getting ready to launch for those professional learning networks, those Q Learning Networks, that'll have all the information, because the old listservs weren't working so well, so we've evolved it now as the technology has changed, getting this great bit of information out to you through the different groups that you're interested in. And then the last piece I want to touch on is just really the board focus for this coming year. So last year we were really focusing on that strategic plan, and this year we've really heard the need for support of the affiliates and support of the members. And so this year, our commitment as a board to you is to really strengthen the affiliates, listen to the affiliates, and help you achieve and grow your local affiliate and the support that you give to your local members, your local Q members there. So that's what we'll be working on this year. And now with that, I'm going to turn it back over to our CEO. As Patrick said earlier, Mike did get a promotion this summer, and he is now our Chief Executive Officer. So.
Okay, so we did determine that that was what it stood for?
Yes, I think so.
CEO, okay, all right. We weren't sure. We thought maybe cosmic, energetic, or I don't know, but I like Chief Executive Officer. That's fabulous. Thank you, Robert. And I got to say, not often do you get board members that are able to serve a full 6 years, and even rarer to find a president that's willing to serve and work with me for a 3rd year. So thank you, Robert. I really appreciate it. You saw an episode of Q's TV show called The Infinite Thinking Machine at the beginning. How many are any ITM fans out there? ITM fans? Yay! All 7 of you. Yay. No, I'm kidding. We have 14 fans. We have an internet TV show. It's at infiniteThinking.org. It's also up on its own YouTube channel. And it features Ramsey Musalam as our host. Chris Walsh and I co-produced the show. It's all produced by Q for you. And one of the things I'll tell you, here's the secret sauce, don't tell anyone. We don't use the word technology in the show. And we do that on purpose. It's focused on creativity and innovation in the classroom. That way you can share it with your colleagues that don't perceive themselves as techie, and they'll watch it and then they'll go, oh, okay. And of course, you know, the secret sauce, we always put something in there that is using technology. Just as we did even in that humor episode. So this is the show. It's for you guys to share with your colleagues, play at staff meetings, lounges, wherever you think that there's some value in that show. It's got a new episode every fortnight. and during the school year, and we just had one launch on Wednesday, so check that out. I want to make sure you were aware of it. We also have a few events coming up. We've got an event this December, not too far away, San Mateo, and it's December 11th through the 13th. It's focused on online and blended learning, and so instead of that title, we call it e-learning, and it's the Strategy Symposium. And I'm really planning on being there. It's going to be a great event, and it's at elearns.org in December. And we also have an event specific for administrators. So how many administrators in the room? Okay, great. So tell your friends, tell your colleagues, and then those of you that aren't administrators, get your principal, assistant principal, superintendent, chief technology officer to look at this event. It's specific for them. It's about 300 attendees, maybe bigger this year. It's in Redondo Beach, and it's all at lead3.org. If you want to present there and you're an administrator, we're actually accepting presentations right now. They're due at the end of this month. So I just want to make sure you guys were aware of that. Here's another sort of best-kept secret. Several years ago, there was a very large company, got into a little bit of a problem, and there was a lawsuit, and they settled that lawsuit, and that money then became available to California teachers in the form of the K-12 EdTech vouchers. $600 million originally, now 25 more than that. Are available to school districts. CUE has been an advocate to try and make sure that people are aware of this money so that you go and spend that money. You can use it for software, you can use it for hardware, you can use it for professional development, for IT services, a plethora of opportunities. And there's a public website where you can view how much money is still left in your district. So go check that out, and if it's not yet spent, the bad news is it sunsets in September of 2015, so we have 11 months left to spend this windfall of revenue for schools in California. And knowing how cash-strapped many of our schools are, this is a program we just want to make sure we use every last penny of. So there's information, of course, at the California Department of Education. CUE has a page dedicated to it. To get to it, you just go to the CUE homepage, scroll down. On the bottom left, you see that logo. Click on EdTech Voucher, and it takes you to this page. It shows you how you can use it. And guess what? You can even use it to attend CUE events. But at the end of the day, I just want to make sure that California spends all of that money as much as possible. Wanted to make sure I shared that with you. Just a couple of other things. I want to introduce Danny Silva. He's going to come up and talk to you about a really new and exciting thing we've got coming going. So Danny Silva is CUE's Professional Development Coordinator.
Thank you. How many Rockstar fans do we have out there? Woo! All right. Well, we'd like to bring out a new logo, a new website, a new URL, and a list of camps for next year. So here's the website, and this is a screenshot, so please go to it and check it out. Now, later, whatever, it's okay. Not right now. Yes, the new URL is qrockstar.org. Very simple. And we have 8 camps to announce tonight. And if you notice, we have 2 that registration has launched already. That is Melbourne, Florida. That's in January. And we just signed this week Petaluma for February, a mini camp. So hope to see you there. And you can see our summer camps. Yes, it is over Valentine's, so bring your wife or your husband and make a weekend of it. So I hope you enjoy our Rockstar camps. We also have a great program called the CUE Innovative Educator Program, and that is in conjunction with Fresno Pacific University. And that is a great way to earn 18 units towards your salary scale. Also, it can apply 18 of those units condensed to 9 units towards a Fresno Pacific University master's program. So that is a great opportunity for you.
I changed it. Okay. So, and the other thing I just wanted to share, thank you, Danny, thank you so much. And that's exciting. This is like they've been working down to the wire to be able to announce that. Another program that CUE instigated, we actually gathered together a group of what ended up being about 42 different nonprofits and universities to build a program to certify educators that understand how technology changes teaching and learning, and we call it Leading Edge Certification. So CUE is one of the members now, and we actually are the fiscal sponsors for the program. And these members that we've got are running the certifications across the state and across the country. Anyone in the room Leading Edge certified in any area? Lots of hands. All right, great. So we have an online teacher certification for online and blended teachers. We have a teacher certification that we call Digital Educator. We also have an administrator certification, so your administrators can understand how to facilitate the rollout of technology, how to use it themselves in their own use. And then also we have one for professional developers. We call it the Professional Learning Leader. So we're really excited about leading edge certification. We've done 4 certifications. They're all just chugging along now, and we have thousands of people that have earned this certification. So we're really excited by this program. If you haven't heard about it, look it up. See if your local county office or university is a partner and can offer the training. And we're adding more partners as we go along. So there's more and more folks. The idea here is a national certification aligned to ISTE and INACOL standards and also tied into Common Core. We have partners such as Common Sense Media that have helped us incorporate digital citizenship in there as well. So a lot of the right pieces in here. It's a way to demonstrate visually with this logo that you understand how technology changes teaching and learning in ways that, oh, I went to this workshop, or even I went to this conference. It's hard to do, but this actual certification, this badge, is a visual way that you as an educator can stand out from the crowd. So we wanted to share that as well. Last 2 things, and then we jump off here into the keynote. I wanted to share that the folks at the Department of Education in D.C. Launched a future-ready district pledge, and they're looking for superintendents like Patrick that are forward-thinking, and they are utilizing technology successfully. And they had them take this pledge. If you go to this website, here's the actual pledge, and then the website, and this is still up, so you can encourage your superintendent or assistant superintendent to go fill this out and pledge that they will move their district forward to be future ready. And there's very clear definitions of what that looks like on the pledge. So take a look at it, see if it's a fit. The Department of Ed is kicking it off, and there are some partners that they're looking to help roll this out and possibly offer resources and training for districts to accomplish these goals within the pledge, and CUE is in those conversations. And so I just want to make sure you guys were aware of this. So tech.ed.gov/pledge. It is the government. They can't make it a shorter URL. Okay, so and the last thing I want to make sure you guys were aware of is CUE has an awards and nominations program. It allows you to acknowledge the heroes and the champions around you. We have an outstanding teacher program and a technology and learning leadership program that you can nominate to your local affiliate and say, I think this teacher or this administrator, this leader would be a perfect recipient in our region. And then your affiliate, and that deadline for you to get that information to them is November 15th. And then they select them, and they are the winner for the region. So there'll be a Central Valley outstanding teacher, and there'll be a Orange County technology and learning leader, and you guys decide those winners at the affiliate level. And then they all come together, and we have a battle royale. We put them in stage, and no, I'm just kidding. We decide, and we pick one, and then that becomes the CUE outstanding leader, and the teacher, and the CUE technology and learning leader, and they go on to ISTE, and they're considered for the international recognition. It all lines up nicely. So think about that. There are many other awards. Every member of CUE can nominate someone for a CUE Gold Disc. It's our oldest recognition program. And any member of CUE can also recognize and nominate someone for the Site Leader of the Year award as well. We also have an Emerging Teacher Award, so take a look at those as well. The forms are going to go live on Monday, and you can start submitting them. We also, as Robert pointed out, are led by a board of 9 volunteers, and we're always looking for the next group of visionaries that are willing to serve in that capacity. Those deadlines are also in December, and if you're so inclined or you're interested to run for the CUE Board of Directors, that's at CUE.org/nomination. So CUE.org/awards for the awards program, and CUE.org/nominations for nominations. It's my great pleasure now to introduce you to your keynote speaker. And I want to ask you guys 2 questions. How many of you have ever played on or grew up using an Atari 2600? Yes? Okay. Never heard of it? Never heard of it? Okay. How many of you have ever gotten into a deep conversation about a game you played? Yes? Oh no, you jump this way, then you got to go this way, then you got to go here, then you got to do that. Right? Yes, I've had these conversations. Okay, then you will love our keynote speaker. Lucien Vittel is the founder and CEO of Game Desk, and the company works to build games that are focused on student learning. And it grew out of his work at university, and he wanted to launch a program, a nonprofit that actually could put into practice the ideas that they were looking at university level. It's a great thing that we want to encourage and support, and so we asked him to come out and share his work, share his passion with you all. So ladies and gentlemen, Lucien Vitale.